John Nallen, people would have seen you celebrating the Grand National win of Manila Times. It was magic.
Unbelievable, Brian. It was something that your wildest dreams. I mean, if you woke up with a dream, there wouldn't be a man qualified to give you a tablet to cure you from it. Like, it's unbelievable stuff.
Tell me the story about Manila Times.
Manila Times, I went to we'd buy 10 or a dozen folds every year, and I went up to Tattersalls that November, and went around, looked at my fold, I saw this Oscar fold. I just saw him through the corner of my eye, actually passing a good Oscar fold with a goodish pedigree. I bought him 31,000, but he just caught my eye that day. He was a good fold. We brought him home, then reared him with a bunch and left him off. He left me and he went down to Martinstown, then he went out to Henry. Henry is the man, he's producing the goods, and it was fantastic to be associated with it.
And Rachel Blackmore, you mentioned the word Frankie, then it's the Tory. You mentioned Ruby, and then it's Ruby Walsh. You mentioned the word Rachel, and everyone knows it's Rachel Blackmore.
She's the great, she is the greatest sportswoman in racing history. Like, it's 160 years for a national, and she's the first lady rider. And horses just run for it, and they have easy times on it. They're running for it like as if they're loose.
Manila Indo is all out, flat out, but he wins the Gold Cup.
22 days earlier, John Nallen Racing won the blue ribbon of racing with Manila Indo.
Unbelievable. Like, to bought the two of them one day after the other in Ferias. Like, you
bought them one day after the other.
One day after the other. Yeah, the two of them came home with the same lorry. Tony Kane's lorry dropped the two of them off here in the yard.
What did John Nallen see that other people didn't see?
They had presence, they had quality. Indo was strong horse, strong foal. I like the Beat Hollow Sadler's Wells line. He's out of a supreme leader, mayor, out of a good family, came from a good farm. Like, and he had presence. He just, like, times the same way. He was different. He wasn't as big a horse, but he was quality, a great step, great go to him. It's not an exact science. If it was an exact science, the one man would own everything. But you forgive. Somebody said to me, "Why did you buy Indo?" He was over a 23-year-old male. To be honest with you, I didn't even notice that. Like, you just look at the stock and you say, they have to grow on you. You have to like them. Then they have to have something in the book. And it's a big sort of, you add more salt and pepper, or what way you mix the bowl, like, after that, then it's how it goes, Getting them coming every year, so that's the dream, like, and then naming them Manila, like, and we have a Manila staycation for the autumn, like, and get people down and get people out to see the stock and see.
But you named them after your famous hotel in Clonmel.
Yeah, we named them all in Manila, like, it was great. Like, I mean, sure, we were just saying the other day, like, to get the Manila name up in the biggest sporting moment of 2021, the biggest sporting moment of the pandemic, like, imagine what Nike you do to get that, like, Look, it's fantastic. It's a dream, Like, I said to somebody the other day, I said, I equated Cheltenham first to Italia 90. And I said, the National is Italia 90, but coming back with the Cup. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I wasn't thinking it. I called that as it is, like, and that's it. And the man was talking to me, and this man was very religious, but I wasn't even thinking about that, And I said, I know this Italia 90. I said, I think this is like John Paul in 78. And the man said, you're no saint, forget it.
But you realise what you have achieved.
It's hard to believe. I wake up every night. The missus thinks there's something wrong with me. I said, like, am I dreaming? Did this happen to me? Like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like,
It's basically, you buy them as a foal and they're being broken as 2-year-olds. So it's nearly 3 years of building blocks before you can see that finished product.
That's the business you're in, and you rear them, you bring them on, you feed them, and the pleasure of coming out in the country every day and feeding them and looking at them and dreaming about them, like, it's like, you're there like Joe Dolan, is he Jew? You don't know, the pleasure of it, like, and people don't need to buy a deer horse, like a couple of lads get together and buy a horse and have a bit of crack, or go to a pint to buy a horse that was third or fourth. He's still winning Battle Rover, he'll still win in Sligo, and you'll have good crack, and come for a staycation in Tipperary, the Valley of Stephen. Where would you be going?
We see your son Jack very much involved here in the Nallen nursery, and Rachel has come to visit Manila Racing since her national win.
Rachel came here the other day. Look, anybody with a child with special needs knows, like, that was my Gold Cup and my national. Rachel Blackmore rode a horse around with my Jack around here. They're the pictures I'd have for my life.